desktop, and then really then hone in on the meeting rooms as well. Quick show of hands, who here has used ChatGPT? All right, who here has now used Copilot, M365 Copilot? It's probably the same people. All right, now, who here has used Claude? Wow, that's really impressive. Okay, let's take it one step further. Who here has used OpenClaw? Hey, we got 3 people, fantastic. All right, so throwing a lot of AI models around, you're probably thinking OpenClaw, what's that? The cool thing that we're seeing at the moment is ChatGPT and Copilot in its early days has been really helpful for us as a chatbot, for us to be more productive, to be able to give input, you get output, analyze this email and help me draft a response, or analyze this Excel document and help me make sense of it so I can report up to my leadership. Now that we've got, last year Microsoft has now partnered with Anthropic. We're not just partnered with OpenAI, we've now got other partners that are now helping us build these AI agents and productivity tools. Copilot has expanded its horizons, and now we've got Anthropic with their Claude products now folding into the ecosystem. And this is really cool because we've now got this product called Cowork, and Cowork, you can now tell it to go do things, and some of you have probably already started playing with it. I'm seeing some nodding faces around here and going, oh my gosh, you can do what now? The cool thing that I absolutely love that my agents are doing for me now, I've got a team of agents, and this whole idea of a frontier firm that we've been talking about for quite some time is now starting to become a reality. And many of us are still just using AI as a chatbot, as using it as the ability to help me answer this question, summarize this and so forth. But when you have agents working for you, things get really cool. Like, I've got it to the point now where my emails can be summarized and filed and sorted, and over the weekend when I get stuff in from the US as my team members are still online, it's able to take action on them. I'm now a 24/7 worker, not really, I work 9 to 5 like the rest of us, but my agents are helping me keep things progressing, keeping things going, and it's only when you start to use agents from a personal point of view, helping you get more control of your day-to-day work, that you start to go, oh wow, this is really cool. You are going to have responsible for all these agents that work alongside with you. This frontier firm where agents are doing things and you're now this chief of staff for all these different agents is going to become a reality. And I think it's absolutely fantastic that we're at a point now where how we get work done is just getting faster and easier and better and taking so much of the drudgery out. And but today we really want to focus in on where we get that work done, and the power of obviously agents now coming to Teams Rooms devices in partnership with our friends at Yealink, and what we can do with that. We introduced this idea of the AI-powered workplace, and AI-powered workplace is this amalgamation of multiple technologies coming together. Obviously, Copilot is just growing and growing and growing, and we've got more capabilities coming to Copilot as the years progress. By the way, the Copilot that I knew 12 months ago is different from the Copilot that I knew 3 months ago. It's even more different than the Copilot I knew 3 weeks ago. Some stuff that we're doing internally under NDA is just absolutely crazy. So Copilot is just getting more and more intelligence, more models, and is going to really, really help us securely be able to achieve those productivity gains. Wrap that around Microsoft Teams and Teams meetings. We have these AI artifacts that are now being generated with every single Teams meeting that you have. You've got transcription enabled. You've got your facilitator agent that is taking notes for you and assigning actions. We've got meeting transcripts that you can now interact with and using recaps outside of meetings now. And then obviously we've got Microsoft Places, which also overlays across this as this productivity tool where you can now see where and what days of the week you should best be coming to the office, or how to book a desk inside the office. I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, that this fuel crisis has kind of thrown a spanner in the works, kind of similar to the way COVID did. But COVID, we all were told to work from home. Melbourne people know that better than anyone. But the fuel crisis, some people have got electric vehicles, so they're not having the same challenges of coming into the office as those that have got diesel cars or petrol cars. And so how do you know which day you should be coming into the office? Well, that's where Microsoft Places is helping with that. You're able to see which days of the week that your colleagues are coming in because they can't afford the fuel to come into the office. It's these tools that are able to articulate when and how we should be showing up with our colleagues. I'm not going to come into the office on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll come in on Friday because that's when everyone's going to be coming in. I can see that, and so I'm going to book that desk and I'm going to book this meeting room. Everyone's going to be on that day because that information is shared across the AI fabric that we have behind the scenes. And we're able to use AI even further now to be able to go, okay, maybe I'm not going to book that meeting room because it doesn't meet my capacity needs, or I've just been notified that that meeting room's now gone offline. Places is going to help me find another meeting space and automatically book that space for me. So we have all these three technologies coming together, which brings together the AI-powered workplace. Now, the other thing is that agents now, as I mentioned before, agents are now spawning everywhere. Everyone's got agents working for them. We're bringing more and more agents to Teams rooms. And agents are really designed to make sure that we can do more with less. We want to be able to get more stuff done without having to commit, as much time for us. The amount of time that it takes for me to actually go through all my emails, cognitively process that, and then actually draft responses and so forth. I want to be able to get faster at that. I want to be quicker. I want to be more timely. I don't want to be the limiting factor of someone else's productivity. And agents are going to be the help us drive that. The other thing that agents also do for us is when it comes to meeting rooms, help us drive inclusivity. When you come into the office and you've got multiple people joining the same meeting, sitting from the desk, because they don't believe that the meeting room has got the right technology to be able to have an inclusive meeting experience, that's a serious problem. And so what we're able to leverage AI to do is to be able to help us be able to recognize people, do things like voice isolation. Show of hands here, who's actually enrolled their voice inside of Teams? Yeah, it's probably maybe 10% of you. The productivity gains that you get from enrolling your voice, you might be apprehensive thinking, oh, maybe it's not secure, Microsoft's doing stuff with biometric data. No, that's not the case at all. I'll tell you what we're doing in just a minute. It's these intelligent experiences that help you get more inclusivity. You feel like when you walk into a meeting room and it's got a Teams rooms device, you can be recognized. It's not conference room B doing all the talking, because if you look at the transcript, that's what's happening. Or if you grab your laptop and you go into a meeting room, you plug in via HDMI, and you start to have your meeting, you're running the meeting off the laptop, everything that is said inside that room is the person that is signed into Teams. And so when you have that recap after the meeting, it's Candace said everything, except there's 6 other people inside the room. So the cool thing is that when we enroll our voice, we can now actually be recognized. When we enroll our face, we'll get facial recognition, and there's some even cooler stuff coming from an AI point of view there. Now, currently, enrolling your voice, you have to go into Teams, you have to go into the little settings cog, you have to go to options, you have to go to recognition, then you have to click on the script, and then you go through the process of rolling your voice. It's about 9 clicks. It's painful. It's really annoying, and this is why only about 10 people put up their hand to say that they enrolled their voice. So we're going to scrap this, bring in Express Enrollment. Express Enrollment is a far better way. So inside your Teams client, to enroll your voice, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get a pop-up. It's going to say, hey, you want to enroll your voice? This is how here's the terms and conditions and the privacy policy around how we store your data. It's stored, for those that are technical, it's stored inside of Microsoft Entra. It's a secure string attached to your Azure Active Directory account, and it's encrypted, and only you have access to that data. IT admins can remove that biometric data should they wish, but only you have control over that data. You can't export it. You can't export your own data either. So you want to enroll your voice. You click opt-in. The next Teams meeting you join, it's going to be listening to your voice, and it's going to be learning it. So you're in the next Teams meeting, it's a more natural setting. You're not saying a pre-canned script. You speak inside of that meeting, and it's learned your voice. And then so the next time you walk into a meeting room that has a Teams rooms device, you hit join, you start talking, it recognizes you. You don't have to enroll your voice by following a fancy script and using the menu systems or anything. You just opt in, and that's it. Now, what happens if someone else is sitting next to you and it's trying to learn your voice? Well, we don't enroll your voice then. If there's any compromisation of, like, if someone else is sitting next to you or other third-party voices can be heard, we scrap that. The next Teams meeting you join will then try and relearn your voice after that. So either way, we're going to be able to get an accurate version of your voice. The other cool thing is that off the back of this is you also get to use voice isolation, so that anytime you join a Teams meeting and you start talking, it's going to eliminate all the other voices that also can be heard sitting around you as well. So the far end only hears your voice. It's absolutely fantastic that we can do that. So, agents. We're all talking about agents. We've got 2 agents that are available on Teams rooms on Windows, and Facilitator is also available on Android. Interpreter is coming to Android soon, but this is really cool. So, Interpreter agent works like this. You walk into your room, you press your join button, and I might be meeting with the Yale team over in China, and I turn on the interpreter and I set it to simulate my voice. There we go, and I turn it on. And so now the language is set for the room. The language I set for the room is English. So myself and my colleagues, we're sitting in a room, we're expecting to hear English. The Yale team have set the language for the room to be Chinese. And so they can be speaking Chinese, and then I'm going to be hearing that translated into English simultaneously inside that meeting room. Same way I'm speaking English, they're only hearing Chinese on the far end. Now, we're actually going to do some improvements to this, and we're actually launching it this month on the desktop, but it's coming to Teams rooms later this year where we can do consecutive interpretation. This is like having someone actually translating there for you. So I've hired someone to be my interpreter. And so what happens is when I select consecutive translation, an agent joins the call. My interpreter agent is now on the call, and I'll be talking in English. I could talk for about 30 seconds. I stop talking, the interpreter agent goes, okay, I'm on. Starts translating into Chinese. The cool thing is, it also mirrors and reflects the emotion that I put in my voice as well. I was doing this for the Japanese. I was in Japan about 2 weeks ago, and I did a demonstration of this. I did my entire presentation, the one I'm doing right now, I did it in English, and I used the interpreter agent to do it in Japanese. And so I'll be speaking for 30 seconds, I'll pause, and then it would translate. And I would be like, this is amazing. And then the interpreter would be like, oh, sugoi ne! And I'll be like, wow, that's exactly how I feel about it. So it's absolutely amazing how far this technology has come and the barriers that it's breaking for us to be able to collaborate. The next one is Facilitator Agent. Facilitator Agent's been around for about nearly 12 months now, and this is really helping us get some productivity gains. You can start this with a Teams Rooms device. You can walk in, scan a QR code. If you've got a Copilot license, initiates it, starts it, kicks it off, away you go. For a scheduled meeting, you can go into Outlook and book a meeting. You can turn on that facilitator button, and then it gets added. Anything that you add into the body of the actual meeting invite should get captured as agenda and then get used inside of the meeting room. You'll see it there at the top there. You've got a progress bar across the top, and then it follows through the agenda items for that meeting. Now, right now today, this is a really helpful tool because when you go back to your desk after that meeting, the notes will be on the left-hand side and you can see everything that's discussed. It's sitting there learning what you're saying, who said what, and then it's capturing those notes for you. So great especially for those ad hoc meetings. Now, we want to make it smarter. We want to make Facilitator smarter. We want to bring more agents. These are just 2 agents that are available now. The rate in which we're developing agents to do different things at the moment is unreal. How cool would it be if we were actually doing things with meeting rooms that weren't just for meetings? Like, we've got cameras in the room, we've got microphones in the room, we've got telemetry data that we can capture now. What else can we do with it? So I mentioned facial recognition before. I want to get to the point where I walk into a room, because I didn't book a room, I walk into any meeting room and it goes, hey Higgsy, you haven't booked this room. Do you want to add this room to an existing meeting that you've got? And I'm like, yep, sure. And then all of a sudden, my meeting that I had in my calendar now appears on my MTR. It can recognize me by my face, double checks that, when I speak, that's definitely me. And then I get my join button and I go start my meeting. Or what if, let's say you have a lunchtime meeting and then you order pizza and the room is messy after the meeting, you leave the room. What happens then? Well, why don't we use the camera to be able to identify when the room is messy and notify cleaning services to come through and tidy up the room. These are different workflows that you're thinking about of how we can actually use the hardware inside the room to create new processes. Helping you rebook a room. Let's say you walk into a room and you go, oh, the front of room display is obviously, sorry, the camera has been disconnected or something like that, and the front of room display is telling me the room is offline, and it automatically triggers me an alert and says, hey, this room is now offline, help me find another meeting room. I don't want to be walking to a room, trying to join a meeting, why is this meeting room not working, spending 5 minutes just trying to get the meeting room to start, have it I know straight away and have it rebook it and find another meeting space that's available that meets my capacity needs. So again, we're thinking of other ways that we can do this, other ways we can use tools. So two things, just quickly, we've got Teams rooms on Android coming to the Pro Management Portal as well. Many people have been asking me about when are we going to see Teams rooms on Windows, Teams rooms on Android, panels, Teams Phone. When are all these devices going to be made available inside of the Pro Management Portal? This is coming around the end of June. I'm thinking that we're going to see this around June timeframe. Worst case scenario, it's going to be early July, but I'm thinking June is going to be when we see this. Many people have been asking about it. Really excited to see this land as well. Two last things. Express installs. Have a chat to the Yealink team because they've been working with our distributors to build these Express install bundles. This is where you have your Lego kits. This is where you have your displays, your MTR, and your mounts all contained in one little SKU that you can now sell to your customers. If you're a customer, you are able to transact with these and buy these because this makes it easier when you've got everything you need to get Teams rooms deployed. Partners can now help get these devices deployed faster and easier and at scale, which is really helpful to get customers now using Teams rooms quicker and easier. The best thing about it is that because you have everything contained in that one SKU, that one kit, you've got everything you need. You're not having to drill into walls or floors and run cables and have a messy environment. Everything's all neatly packaged and freestanding. So definitely something to consider. All right, as I summarize, as I want to I'm holding you back from a break. I want you to think about now how these Teams Rooms devices are going to help shape meeting spaces moving forward. No longer are laptops really going to provide the same productivity gains when you walk in and plug in via HDMI. You know, having a brain inside the room, these devices are the ears and the eyes connected to a co-pilot brain. And the great thing about this is that as we bring more agents to the organizations, as they're using these agents on Teams rooms, as they're using agents on their desktops, they're all going to be able to communicate to each other. The productivity gains are substantial. And so it's only with native Teams Rooms devices are we able to turn on this functionality to be able to get these productivity gains. So BYOD, it's not the same anymore. Having native Teams Rooms devices is critical. I encourage you, when you get the opportunity, have a look at Microsoft's Copilot Co-work agent. Have a play with Co-work. It's going to help you substantially as well. Again, thank you very much for your time, and I'm looking forward to the panel conversation this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.